Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed is a spiritual crossing of the threshold to the world of being a truly expanded human being. Join mediums Cheryl and Kelley for conversations about discovering deep spirituality, developing your intuitive and empathic skills, and personal mediumship. Each episode will focus on tips, tools, and techniques to help you understand and expand your own inner gifts of life journey. Now, your host of Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed, Kelley and Cheryl.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Seeing Beyond, Living Transformed on WLTKDB Radio. And today I want to welcome my co-host, Lauri Albert. Oh, there she is.
Oh my God, it just went away.
Welcome, Lauri. We're so happy to have you. And we're going to be talking today about, the kind of the mechanics of a mediumship and psychic reading, like how we work and how it works for us, and any questions you guys have. And I think towards the middle, we're going to do some readings. So stick around and listen for those. I would love to just hear, because, I just want to say one thing. Each medium and psychic, we're all very individual, and the way we work is similar in many ways, but also different in so many ways because we're all so unique. And I love hearing how other people work. So I would love for you to share, Lauri, how you work and how all of your gifts, like what you do to get going. How's that?
Oh, well, wow. Well, first of all, I want to say, Kelley, you are just such a delight, and I'm so honored to be here tonight. So thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I love having you.
It's so much fun. It's like my sister, it's like I haven't known her for a little while, and there she is.
It's so easy to talk to you. I love it. I
have kind of what I think is kind of an interesting way that I do my readings.
Okay.
There are and I'm sure that all of the English mediums that might be ever listening to this would go, oh, they'd be horrified by what I'm about to say, right? But the way
you're already horrified by Americans. Let's just be truthful.
Right. Exactly. So basically what I do is that I open up my chakras, as most of us do, open up my chakras, and then I invite in my whole spirit team, right? And then I invite in my gatekeeper, okay? And he's like my guy, right? And I have to say, just because I have to invite in my gatekeeper, I have to always say that my mother, who has been on the other side for about 4 years now, she's over here. She's always here. So that's always fun, right? But here's the interesting part of why I think that, I don't know, maybe I'm not unique. I don't know. But so like I have this really interesting sort of relationship with spirit. I will yell at them, not in a mad way. I don't do mad. I don't do that. Right. But I'll yell at them like, what are you trying to tell me? Or I'll I'll be like, oh my God, come on. So I kind of like, because I have that sort of relationship with spirit, my readings tend to be a little bit like fun, and I'm not saying that there aren't serious things.
You're the happy medium.
I know, right? I'm the happy medium. Now, I won't say that, sometimes serious things come through. Don't get me wrong. I mean,
I know what you're talking about, but it's good to have fun with the reading. It helps with the grief. When it's mediumship and psychic,
I agree.
We gotta all have a good time in life.
Yeah, and before I start the reading, I always, and as a matter of fact, before I do any spirit work, like even tonight, right, I give the entire thing up to spirit. And the last thing I say before I start, you're gonna laugh, Kelley. You're really gonna laugh when I hear.
I want to hear this.
I say, whatever comes out of my mouth, please allow it to be what is supposed to come out of my mouth, because I can be a loose cannon. This mouth can be a loose cannon, right?
Me too.
I know. That's why I thought you'd appreciate that last one.
I know. I do the same thing.
And then I just allow spirit to take over. And if I'm supposed to go in a chakra direction or ooh, you're really psychic, you need to develop your spiritual gifts, let's talk about that. Whatever. I just follow whatever spirit
I love
You know,
that. I love that.
yeah. And what about you? I'm very curious because
Well,
again, like you said, I
evolved.
love hearing the way that other
Other
people work.
people do it. So
Yeah.
it's evolved a lot. I used to, like in the beginning, I would sit for an hour before my reading and meditate for like 45 minutes. Then I would spend the last 15 minutes just like begging for spirit to show up because I was so nervous,
Yeah. Oh,
you know?
yeah.
And then Mavis was like, no, 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 we don't do that.
Yeah.
Mavis was like, you stand up from the chair, you're ready to work. You don't need to meditate. Stand up. There it
Oh,
is, spirit. So I
wow.
started going, okay, let me try that. And it actually works. So I was overthinking it so much that it was
Yeah.
making things worse. So I started going into my readings like 15 minutes. I'd show up to my office before. I would, I personally like to, I have spray Palo Santo and
Oh, yeah.
spray mix kind of. I like to spray that because it makes me like, puts me, and I play there's a couple songs that just sort of put me in the mood.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'll
Yeah. I do
play
that
those,
too.
and then I tell spirit, don't come until the client gets here because I don't want to, get too much information. I just want you to show up when they're here. I'm just getting ready. I'm just hanging out with you guys. So I do like a 5-minute meditation now.
Yeah.
And then when
Yeah.
when they come in, I feel like the minute I start explaining to them how I work, spirit shows up.
Yeah.
So even like some people are like, oh yeah, I've had a reading with you before. Honestly, I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I always tell them so they know my speech, right? They just want me to jump in. I tell them my speech is kind of part of my connecting.
Yeah.
And spirit, I go direct. I know a lot of people go through, like you said, their guides and things like that, but spirits always just come so direct to me,
Yeah.
that I just trust it. But if I ever get stuck, I do, ask spirit to come closer. And if something's just not making sense, I just write it down and I put it aside and tell spirit, if you really want to get that message, so you need to give me more information in my, I tell them in my mind, I don't do this out loud,
Yeah.
but, it works. And sometimes I feel like if I'm not feeling good that day, I just know I need to reschedule
Yeah. Yeah.
because
For
my
sure.
mood really affects it. It shouldn't, but it does.
Yeah.
In my health, right?
Yeah.
So
Now, do you feel like that spirit kind of guiding you in that direction? Like,
I
oh, you know
do.
what?
I
Yeah.
used to fight it. And when I would fight it, I would do the readings anyways.
Yeah.
And it would just feel off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I would end up telling the client, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Let me refund your money, or we could try to do this again in like 3 weeks. Like I wanted a break between it,
Yeah.
And most, like 90%, 95% of people are like, let's reschedule it. And it was a great reading. And 5% are like, I just want my money back. And then I give them a referral to somebody else because, we're not for everybody.
Yeah.
And maybe they just came to the wrong medium, and I
Mhm.
can't get their people because I have nothing in common with them.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's so important to say. Oh,
but it's so true. One lady got really mad at me, and I said, I'm sorry. I relate really well to addicts, um, alcoholic fathers, crazy moms, and really gifted people. I
Mhm.
said, those are my family. That's my data bank. I don't always, relate to people, other people, as well sometimes, but I still connect with them. It's just
Right.
not the same. I love alcoholic families in spirit. They're the best.
Yeah. Well, but you know why? Because now they're open and they're
Yeah.
like talkative. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
Oh,
it. I mean, I just love it. But I get everybody, I don't just get that. And it's interesting. Sometimes, spirit, like I feel my son come in,
yeah.
he's a spirit, and he just tells me, Mom, they've got my heart condition. Or
Nice.
Mom,
That's perfect.
they're potheads like me. Mom, I brought you this guy. He died of an overdose.
Yeah.
Like my son just tells me.
Yeah.
And it's like, it took a while to trust that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so it's weird for me. I have to say, over the years, it's changed a lot.
Yeah. Absolutely.
It continues to change.
Yeah. So, did you do like an internship or not internship, like a mentorship with Mavis
I did
Patilla?
a mentorship with Mavis, with Andy Bing, with Lisa Williams, and Thomas John, and I think that's everybody.
That's awesome.
And then like I did that for like years, and then I think during COVID, I was like done.
Yeah.
And I took a break. I'm going back into developing again. I just needed a little break from all the classes, and it was so
Yeah.
expensive. And,
Yeah.
things just changed during COVID. I love in-person classes, don't you?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I
I
do.
could do the online ones, but I really like to learn in person. So I'm
Yeah.
excited because I'm going to the Arthur Findlay College in August
Oh, that's
for a week. Yeah,
fantastic.
I'm
That's
never
where
been
Cheryl is, right? Isn't
right
Cheryl?
now. Yeah, she is right now. I'm jealous. I wanted to go to that one too, but I just couldn't afford all those courses.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'm
Well, and
excited.
getting over there. I mean, hello.
Yeah, it's expensive. And I have a lot of travel this year, so I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's
Um,
really exciting. That's really
yeah,
exciting.
I'm super excited to finally see the college. You've been there before?
No, I haven't
I
been.
thought you had. You
Mm-mm.
didn't go with all the mediums back at like a while ago, like 8 years ago. I feel like everybody in LA went.
I know. Everybody in LA was going at the same time. And it
I
just,
just started my business and I didn't know everybody that well, so I never got invited then.
yeah.
No.
Yeah. Well, you have to invite yourself.
Well, I did. I finally said, if next time anybody goes, let me know. I want to go with people I know. So Cheryl told me she was going. And so I planned this trip.
Oh my God.
She canceled it last minute because she wanted to go to this other one. So, but I do know like Jules Davis is going. I think Lima is going, and Susan Schuler is going. So I'm excited. I mean, I'm not super close to all of them, but I know them and they're all really nice.
Yeah. Yeah. See, now for me, I'm the type of person where I just kind of do if I want to go, I just go. Like, I don't, it almost.
I did that in the beginning because I didn't know
because
anybody.
it's almost a hindrance for me. This is just me personally.
Yeah.
Like, it's a hindrance when somebody else is there and then you feel like that, obligated to spend all the time with them and then,
Yeah.
whatever. And then it's just
And you don't get to know everybody or something, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, when I first started developing, and this was probably like 2014, I think, when Aiden was that 9 years ago. So he was like, oh my gosh, it was about 2013, maybe. I don't know. Aiden was 6 years old when I first started developing, and he's 16 now. And I just remember I didn't know anybody, and I found Medium Fleur, and I started taking her classes, and I loved them, but she didn't teach.
That's how I met you.
Yes, she just
bet
didn't
you
teach all the time. She taught a couple times a year, right?
Yeah.
And I said to her, what am I going to do? I've tried all these teachers in Orange County, and I just love you. And she goes, well, Kelley, she goes, you could probably take some of the intermediate advanced courses. If you have the money, go travel. So I went and booked a trip to Seattle and met like Allison and all these other people.
Yeah. Oh, awesome.
And I just went all by myself, didn't know anybody, didn't know anything, and went and stayed in a room like with other people. It was crazy. I don't know what I was thinking. And then I went to Omega Institute and I took Tony Stockwell and I did Lisa. I just started jumping into everything because she told me like I could do it. And I said, if you say I can do it, I'll do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah. I mean, there is, and I tell this to my students all the time. It's like, if you vibe with me, awesome. But there are so many amazing teachers out there, and just keep finding the ones that you vibe with.
Yes.
To me, oh my God, Tony Stockwell, kill me now.
Him. He cracks me up. I love that he's so open because the UK mediums, they have such structure. Yeah. And they don't believe that animals have spirits. They don't believe that when a loved one has Alzheimer's or dementia, that you can connect with them as well. Yeah. They don't believe in all that, but that Americans do.
Yeah.
And I love the UK mediums. I love their style. They do the most amazing readings. They're so detailed, but I feel like I love Americans because I'm American, but there's much more creativity. We get the angels, we get the dogs, the cats, the horses. We get grandma who's here but has an is an Alzheimer's state, right? We get those things, and they're validating, and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
And
the messages,
ourselves, right?
I mean, I love giving. I mean, that's why I call myself a spiritual medium, because I'll like get the whole entire thing,
right? Yeah.
And that to me is like the messages. I mean, I love going and watching Robert Brown because I started developing in like 2005, right?
Oh, wow.
And I remember going to see Robert Brown. He's an English medium, and he would just do like, oh, she loved her tea and crumpets or whatever, and she loved her red shoes and the this and the that, but there were never any like messages. you know?
Right. Yeah, they
And
don't
so
like messages.
yeah, and as
They're
much as I love and there's so much
messages are in the evidence.
yeah, exactly. It's all about the evidence, right?
Yeah.
Mavis was the same way, right? Wasn't she? She didn't give she did some
She did a message, but it was part of her evidence.
Yeah,
She did it in such a beautiful way.
Yeah.
Andy does it like that too, and I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah, I remember seeing Andy Bing doing his I went to one of his things and he was so detailed. And that's what I love about psychic mediums, evidential mediums, because they're so detailed, you know.
Right,
that money clip is in the third drawer down in the thing, and they're always spot on. And it's like,
I know, and it's like, oh, I want to do that, you know.
Yeah, right.
I'm good with that, like what they call that's called like a mind journey. I'm really good at mind journeys with psychic work.
Oh,
and more than I am with mediumship, which annoys me. But I could be psychically reading somebody and be like, okay, you understand this and this is near where you're at. Yeah. Like, you know, and I'm like, oh. Like this lady's looking to buy a new property in real estate, and I kept saying, oh, I see it. It's near these railroad tracks about a mile from the place. It's an older building, but it's been remodeled, and like the other building's not safe. It's going to fall apart. And she was like, I can't believe, like, that's what I got. Exactly what I got. And she's like, you saw it. I did. I saw it in my mind.
Yeah. That's what I love that. You know, when you see it in your mind, you know, for the longest time and all the way up until I really started developing, I didn't understand what clairvoyance was. You know, because I thought, and I've probably said this to you before, I thought that if you were clairvoyant, you saw full apparitions.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I thought. And so I thought, well, I can't be a medium because I don't see full apparitions. I feel stuff because I started out, I'm a clairsentient
very clairsentient.
You know,
I was very clairvoyant in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, really? But you're clairvoyant now too. I mean,
I am, but it's not as strong as it was. It's changed. In the beginning, everything was like this long movie, and I could tell you everything that was going on in the movie.
Yeah.
So here's a great question from Real Housewife of Antelope Valley. I think it's Kat or Kit. I can't remember. I do this every week. I'm so sorry. It's Kit. Thank you, Kit. What is the best way to show gratitude to our guides, angels, and family members who have helped create a miracle for me? I found a cheap flight to Amsterdam, and I'll be attending a cast reunion this July. Yay. Oh, that's so exciting.
Fantastic.
I think just by saying it out loud or even in your mind, and just, you know, you could light a candle for them. You could put crystals out for them, whatever you feel drawn to do. But really, it's just an intention you're sending their way, telling them how appreciative you are.
Yeah. And talk to your angels, you know, go through, I hate to say it that way, but like go through your angels and say, you know, please make sure that they know how appreciative I am, you know, and then just like, you know, create the wish. That's what I always like to say.
I love talking to my guides and my angels all the time whenever something is like bothering me or asking for advice. And and then I just let it go and I trust that like what's meant to happen is going to happen. And then after the fact, I'll look back and be like, that was kind of a miracle, you know? And I love that. And I'll be like, I know they have my back. Thank you. And, you know, honestly, when I do my readings, I always show gratitude before and after to the spirit world. And just in my mind, I don't do anything special. I don't like sit there and pray or anything. I just say thank you in my mind. Like, I know they know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, because you've created the intention prior to, like when I first started, developing my mediumship years and years ago, I would say, oh, if this candle is lit, then spirit, you can come. Right. But then over the course of the years, obviously you're getting, you know, because it was so dramatic, because I was dramatic.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't realize, right?
You would have laughed at me with meditations. It was hysterical.
Yeah. Because now it's like the intention is already there. When I sit down to work, that now, you know, they know when they can come. They know when they cannot come to me, you know.
Let me just say hello to John. Hi, John. Thank you for coming and watching us. Hope you're doing good. I don't know if you ever met John Mullen. He was in Seattle. So he's one of Alice. I met him through Allison at CBEC.
Ah,
He's such a great healer, and he's amazing, and he's in the Bay Area.
awesome. Hi, John. Nice to meet you.
And
Virtually.
Kim says she keeps her angels very busy, and there's so many close calls with death. They must be exhausted. I don't think they get exhausted. I think that's a human trait.
Yeah.
I don't think that they require rest like we do. Because I'll tell you what, mine are pretty busy too. I'm always sending them on little missions to go look after the kids. I'm always sending my angels to watch over my children. So definitely, and it sounds so corny to be like, oh, ask your angels, but it really works. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah. For me, it's my my 3 angels the archangels that I call on all the time are Archangel Michael for protection, Archangel Raphael for healing. Now, the cool thing about Archangel Raphael is that it's not just physical healing, it's mental, it's spiritual, it's emotional, all of the healing that can be done. Yeah. So Archangel Raphael is amazing. And then, so check this out. Archangel Metatron was supposed to become and be part of my spirit team, right? Yeah. But I didn't know this, right? So when I sit and I only meditate for a couple minutes too before I do reading, right? But I call in Archangel Michael, and then I've been doing this for years, right? So all of a sudden one day I couldn't remember Archangel Raphael's name. So I'd be like, Archangel Michael, thank you for coming in. Archangel Metatron. Wait a minute, that's not right. And then I'd be like, what's going on? And then finally one day it came to me. They said to me, Lauri, you are supposed to, like, Archangel Metatron you're supposed to bring Archangel Metatron in to be your part of your spirit team. But guess what? I do empowerment coaching, which is like life coaching. I call it empowerment coaching, right?
Yeah.
Archangel Metatron is about empowering, right? So I was like, oh my God, that makes so much sense, right? So thank you, so now it's always part of that.
Well, your buddy here.
Hi, Elle. Nice to see you.
You want to make sure you saw him.
Elle, it's a they. And I have to tell you, Elle, you are like, Kelley, you will love Kelley. Let me just put it that way. Elle is freaking amazing, and so is Kelley. You guys need to sort of know each other. So yeah.
Oh, he and they. Thank you. Yeah. I'm terrible with that because
he and they.
I know.
Sorry, I didn't realize that we were shifting that, so I apologize.
Yeah, I'm always trying to do that, but I mess up. So I'm sorry if I mess up. Just forgive me.
You didn't. I messed up because look.
I sometimes call my dogs the wrong things too. They get called cats. Anyways, I try. I mean, I can't even remember people's names, so I do my best, and I'm sorry if I messed that up. I'm always trying to fix that.
That was very cool. So
yeah. So well, I was going to say, when I first started developing, I remember I would do this, like, oh, if thank you, if you're a man, tap my left hand. If you're a woman, tap my right hand, right? In the beginning, because I was like, I couldn't tell. And it was just funny, like after about a year of doing that, like going through this whole thing, which took forever, mind you, all of a sudden one day it was like, oh, father's side of the family comes on this side, mom's comes on this side every time.
Yeah.
Things come down the middle. And it just like, I never had to do that anymore. So it's funny how it just evolves as you work with them. It's almost like you're learning and they're learning how to work with you. That's why I say every medium is different. When I teach my students, I always tell them, I'm going to show you a couple ways. You have to do what resonates with you. And maybe through this, you come up with your own way. And as long as you're getting the information, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
You can't it has to be this way.
Right. And it's so funny that you should say that, because I was doing sort of a mentorship with a medium who I love, Austin Wells. I just love her.
I know her.
Oh, she's amazing, right? So she's like, no, I want you to try with this grid, right? And so the mothers were here, the fathers were there, and I'm just like, it just doesn't work for me like that.
Yeah.
And I tried and tried and tried, and I'm just like, I tried. I really did. And it just doesn't work like that. I just feel, because I'm so clairsentient,
Right. I
feel.
feel the relationships. Me too.
Yeah.
On occasion, when I don't feel the relationships, I see a pyramid. I see my sitter at the bottom row, and left to right is friends, loves, cousins, right? Next
Right.
row up is parents, uncles, aunts, all that, right? Then grandparents and so on. So when I'm stuck or I'm just not feeling it, I'll say, like, show me, and they show me.
Yeah.
Or I'll just keep talking about their personality, and then I just know who they are.
Yeah.
More of
Exactly.
their cognizance. I don't even, it's not anything. I just know all of a sudden.
Right.
It took, it's interesting because I always tell people, like students, like new students, and this works for me every time so far. I mean, I haven't had a student not be able to get a relationship yet. And I always say, imagine your own relationships in life. What does your dad feel like? What does your mom feel like? Do you have step parents? Like, think of all these different relationships. And as you're feeling spirit, what do they remind you of? Do they feel like any of those relationships? Because the energy is going to be similar.
Yeah.
Or are you seeing any of your family members? And literally, I've gotten everybody to always get the relationship.
Yeah.
By doing it. But I think, like attracts like. I do believe that, like, I attract a lot of sentient and clairvoyant students.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah.
So, I mean, they're drawn to me because I'm probably the right teacher for them.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they always say when the student is ready, the teacher appears, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and I really believe that because, and unfortunately, sometimes I'll meet somebody and I'll be like, oh, I'm supposed to be their teacher. But then how do you say, hey, you need to take my course?
I try not to push things, because
I feel like I try not to push either, but
I mean, online I will, right? But like I try to just like provide things, and like the right person will come and find it, I hope. And it usually works out. And if it doesn't work out, I think to myself, well, it's not meant to be, or that I did it the wrong time and try it again. And it always works out. I don't like to be competitive.
Yeah.
But I am a competitive person. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't like to be competitive, like in the mediumship world. To me, there is no competition. We're all so unique. There's a lot of dead people. We don't have to compete. Okay. And you know what? Spirit brings us our loved ones. So the only one we're building our reputation with for mediumship is the spirit world, not here. Although here might get our reputation, but spirit brings them to us. And I know that's true. I've seen it happen. I mean, people have found me and they've said the weirdest things, like, because I ask everybody how they found me when they book an appointment, and it tells them, I found you in this book written by somebody. Nobody wrote about me. Nobody wrote about me, right? I'm like, no, you didn't find me there. I was on, so I've gotten like somebody in like Ireland, and they're like, well, you popped up on Google here in Ireland. I'm like, why would I pop up in Ireland on Google?
Yeah.
That's so random. Spirit did it, right?
Right. And that's the whole thing. When we just give it up to spirit, I mean, it's like when I know I'm supposed to be a teacher for somebody, I'll be like, all right, spirit, if that's the case, then you need to like impress upon their hearts.
Yeah, Deite says I always say there are enough dead people to go around, and more every day. No reason to compete. So true.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I got to tell you though, years ago, there was kind of a little situation, and I was like, and I decided like, and it's funny because when there are situations,
are we talking about drama?
Yeah, a little drama.
Well, I mean that happens in
southern part of our state. Does, especially when there's a lot of women involved, right? But what happened is that I backed off, and I thought, what? And that's part of me like learning about myself, like I thought to myself, you know what? If they're like sort of irritated at the way I'm being, then that's fine. I'll just back off and I'll go over here. It's okay. Because in my world, like I'm very spiritual, and I meditate, I chant, I do all of the above kind of stuff. And I think to myself, I know that spirit has a plan for me, but I also know in terms of my own spirituality, I also know that spirit has a plan for you. You know what I mean? Like, so when I say namaste to somebody, that means namaste means the love in me sees the love in you,
Right.
you know? And I think to myself, that's what I want to be around. And so it's funny because those people dropped away and I have this amazing community now, which
Right.
you are a part of. You know what I mean? It's like, it's beautiful. We're beautiful. It's a beautiful community. So
I feel like one of my favorite things to do is to go watch other people do their demonstrations if I can, if I have the time
yeah,
to support them. And I feel like, the best way to be in this business or this industry is to support each other and love on each
yes,
other. And I love telling my students and I love sharing about other mediums and other teachers because I'm not worried. I'm not competing. I'm happy for that. I want people to go to somebody I know is going to help them.
yes, exactly. Right.
That's what it's about. And I
Yeah.
don't worry about like the finances or any of that because I really feel like, the
Mhm.
money comes when it's supposed to come and it always
Yes.
works out. And I'm never, like stuck or anything.
Yeah.
It just works out. And when somebody wants to ask me and they do like, oh, I want to do this. I want to quit my job, but I'm so afraid. You know what? If you
Mhm.
have faith, you believe in it, it just happens. I
Yeah.
remember I was shutting down my crystal store and I'd done some readings there, but I wasn't really working. It was the crystal store. It was so much work, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was moving to Sacramento and I was like, well, I want to just do readings. So I just posted on my page and said, moving to Sacramento. This is who I am. Going to be here. And I made a website and I put like acuity on it to book. And
Yeah.
I was like moving in April and I put a schedule. I filled up the schedule for May and everybody booked for May and I got an office. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, that just worked.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, I didn't overthink it. I just like, if it
Mhm.
happens, it happens.
Mhm.
I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't want to get a job.
You manifested that.
I
You
did. I
manifested.
did. But I was just me too. I wasn't like this fake thing. It was like, this is who I
Yeah.
am. This
Yeah.
is where I'm at and this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And it happened. And to me, the universe brought that because it was the right time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It
And
really
that's important too.
Yeah.
You have to always, in your meditation, I would like to think that everybody that's watching meditates, right? But like in your meditation, when you give it all up and you just invite in spirit to show you what is next.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It
Well,
is.
it's 7:34. Let's do some readings. Can
Hi,
we share
man.
the link so that if anybody wants a reading, they can hop on this link here and come backstage, and we will bring you up in the order you came on.
Yeah.
So I think Brianna is going to share that link in just a moment, right, Brianna?
Yay.
Because,
Brianna.
she'll
So
get.
can I just say, I have restreamed or whatever to my my Facebook page, but I cannot see any comments. So just please be
Your
aware that if you're
are
commenting,
Well, they're
oh
coming up
gosh,
if it says Facebook user.
what's that?
On one of them says Facebook user, and I'm wondering if that's on your page.
Oh, maybe it is.
But then your friend here, they are posting their name, so maybe they're on your page.
Eliyahu, is that you on my page? I don't think.
That's YouTube. They are there. Let's see, where did it go?
The Ed is already in bed. Perfect.
Good night.
Perfect. Hi, Amanda. Amanda is from Australia and says
Yes.
hello.
I saw that we have an Australian here.
That's
That is
awesome.
awesome right here. You were talking earlier, so I just okay. So somebody's come on, but their device is not connected. Kit, we just need you to connect your video to bring you on. It won't let us bring you on otherwise. So if you could figure that out, your mic and camera need to be connected.
Yeah.
All right. Make sure you guys have your mic and camera on when you come on and you use the link.
Eliyahu says they would love to have a reading, but they don't want the camera. That's okay.
Yeah,
that's totally fine. You don't have to.
You on? I don't believe. Well, maybe it will. Let's see. Kit doesn't have her camera on. Hi, Kit. Okay, it will. You just have to have a mic. I was wrong.
Yeah, you just have to have a mic.
So as long as you have your mic. Hi, Kit.
Hello. Good
evening.
Thank you for coming on. How can we help you? What kind of a reading would you like?
Well, I think I would like to see if my friend Tomas is available. He recently passed away.
Oh, okay. You want to go first, Lauri?
Let me connect just for a split second here. I feel like somebody's stepping forward, and I feel like that I've got a really round face. I'm seeing it feels male, and I feel like that the face is really round. Did your friend Tomas have a round face?
Uh,
Uh-oh.
We lost you.
no, I just mistakenly muted my mic.
Oh.
Well, I hadn't seen him in 30 years. So
Okay.
I know I certainly have a round face after 30 years. So maybe he does too. I don't know.
Well, you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing this beautiful big smile. So he's going to come through as you would know him. Okay. So it doesn't matter if you haven't seen him in 30 years. So I'm just going to say that, right?
Okay.
I feel like I'm seeing a big teethy smile, toothy smile, right? And I am feeling so much, it's not love, it's like respect. Like I just feel a lot of respect for you, that you have done this and that and everything. You're following your dream is what I feel like he's telling me. You're following what you know you're supposed to be doing in your life. And he appreciates that. What he's telling me is that he was not able to do that fully. And that was kind of, on the other side, he's reconciled with that, but he's telling me that it's not quite, he just respects the fact that you are able to do that, even though he wasn't. So, yeah. So Kelley, what are you getting from him?
I get that he was a really fun guy back when you guys were younger and you used to hang out. And he feels like, well, can you understand that he was like a fun guy? He liked to have a good time. He made you laugh.
Yeah, he was a very sweet man.
Yeah. And I just get that, he's really at peace, because I think at the end of his life, there was some pain. He was in a lot of pain. I also feel like he had some health issues. So he's really in a good place. I also know he's not alone. And I do feel like he's with people that he cares about from his family that are on the other side. So I think that was important, because he really missed his family that have passed. Do you understand that?
Yes.
So, and he's very connected to you. I feel like he's already come to see you in dreams.
I wish I could remember my dreams, but that's
okay.
very nice.
You might. I just feel like he's really trying to come see you in dreams, and I keep seeing water, like a river. I don't know if there's some connection to a river with him and you.
When
you were younger.
Not that I can recall.
Okay. Well, I just am seeing a river going over rocks, like downhill kind of thing. And I don't know if it's like a place where we would go hike, or maybe it's something you do currently and I'm misinterpreting it, but I do feel like there's some connection to this river and water with him and you. Okay.
Okay.
But it's just really, he's in a good place, and he thanks you for being a good friend. Did you guys have a falling out though, or not a falling out, or you were like disconnected for a while or something?
We never really had a falling out. So,
no, not a falling out, just where you were just disconnected.
Well, yeah, I think prior to the years when, like everybody really connected when Facebook came on the scene.
Right.
So, yeah. So that helped, connect people from my cast that I was involved in. So I just kind of, I think he, played a large role in helping me find that affordable flight to Amsterdam.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because we're having a 30th year reunion this July, and it would have been really nice to see him, but
I'm sure you'll get signs when you're there from him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you'll get a lot of good signs from him, and maybe even on the plane, you'll get something that'll remind you of him, because he's very much going to show up, I feel. Okay.
Is there
can I say one other? Go ahead.
Sure.
I was going to say, I'm seeing him holding, and I feel like that he's sort of giving them to you as Gerber daisies. Do you love Gerber daisies? Like, what's the connection to Gerber daisies?
Yeah, I love daisies.
Yeah, he's. I feel like that he's got a whole bunch in his hands, and he's like giving them to you.
That's so sweet.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I'm gonna put you backstage so we can bring another person on. Okay.
Okay, thank you, ladies. I appreciate your time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
And
That's fun.
hi.
He was so.
Is it L? Did I say it right?
Yeah, Eliyahu.
Eliyahu. Huh? Oh, I love that. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. On Insight Timer, my name is still L, but I prefer people to say Eliyahu. I'm doing okay. I'm just about to. I just finished brushing my teeth, so I'm on the East Coast.
Well, welcome. How can we answer any questions, or did you have a psychic or a mediumship reading you wanted?
I would love to see what spirit comes through and what messages come through. There's nothing in particular that I want to say. If that's all right.
Yeah, and you want to go, Lauri? You want me to go?
No, you can go first because
Okay.
I know
Yeah. I figured that. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if you had a message. I do feel like you're a very intuitive person yourself, and that you often use your intuition in your everyday life, and I do feel like there's been a lot going on, and I'm going more intuitive than mediumship right now, and I hope that's okay.
Of course, do what you're guided to.
Yeah, I feel like there's been a lot going on in your life personally, like changes.
Oh yeah.
And I just think like I just feel like I really have to say like just go with the flow and don't overthink it, because I do feel like you have a tendency to sometimes get stuck in your mind overthinking things, or overthinking things. I'm going to say that. Do you understand that?
I do understand that.
And really I just keep hearing like just go with the flow and trust, because it's really you're being guided by your own guides and your own angels and all of that. And I also feel like you do have somebody in spirit. I do feel a man in spirit that's like a father, but I don't think he's dad. He's like a father figure. Do you understand this?
I do understand that, yes.
And I feel like he's really pushing you to be you and do what you want to do and not really worry about everybody else and everything else. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
And he just really, I feel like is like a cheerleader for you in many ways. On the other side, he's like so like excited and happy, because it feels like you're headed down this path where things are starting to fall into place. Things are starting to happen the way you want, but at the same time, it's scary because your mind's going, oh, it's all going to fall apart any second now. But he's saying it's not. You're following your dreams for once. Do you understand that?
I do understand that. Thank you.
So he's just there to support you. Yeah. And they all are. Go ahead, Lauri.
I just have to laugh because your grandfather was like there from like the minute that your little box was there. I was like, oh, and then Kelley was like, and then there's this man who's like, I was like, oh my God, that's so great. Perfect. Right.
Yeah, totally.
I am seeing, and he is coming, like it's like he's standing right next to you, and I'm seeing him giving you this massive hug, like this bear hug of
that's him.
Oh my gosh, like this massive bear hug, and he is so proud of you.
I love his feeling. His energy is great.
Oh yeah, his energy is just divine. And here's the thing, he's I keep getting that you are lately, and you tell me if this is makes sense to you, that you've been quite emotional lately.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm feeling like that he's here to sort of just let you know that he's got your back, like in terms of whatever the situation is, whether it's like in your humanness, whether it's spirituality, whether it's emotionally, he's got your back, and don't forget that.
Yeah, I love that. That's what I love too. Yes.
He's amazing.
Thank you.
So amazing. And let me, just because I got to pull a card. I'm sorry.
I love it. Pull your cards.
Totally Oh my gosh. And there's one that's upside down. Oh my God. And
Is it the Sacred Forest?
yeah, it's the Sacred Forest cards. Oh my God. Okay. I know I say that before I did.
So pretty.
Spirit Guardian of Summer, and it says expansion. And what is the number? The number is 37.
The Spirit Guardian of Spring today for a collective message on
Oh my
Inside
gosh,
Timer.
that's so funny. That's so funny. But it's expansion.
Yeah, so it's the next one coming up.
Uh-huh.
Yay.
And it's about your spirituality. It's about who you are spiritually. The expansion is extraordinary and huge. So I'm gonna leave you with that. That's so cool.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Eliyahu is one of the most special people you could know.
Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. Thank you.
Have a beautiful, beautiful evening. I really appreciate this.
Eliyahu does is on Insight Timer as a teacher, and
cool.
yeah, and you do Reiki, right?
Yeah, I do Reiki, and like I don't necessarily do like psychic medium stuff in my sessions, but it does happen sometimes because I do channeled messages, and so stuff like that comes up all the time that I'll channel people's loved ones and stuff. So
awesome.
A little bit of a lot.
Awesome.
Well, thank you. Thank you for coming on and everything, and have a good night's sleep.
Thank you.
Well,
love and light, blessings.
Thank you so much. Well, let me put him back, and then I'm going to, or they, sorry, there, I did it again.
No, that's fine. He said he or they, so it's all good.
Okay, well, I'm just going to overthink it.
No, right. Don't overthink it. It's all fine.
Oh, how did you move down there? Hey,
I don't know.
I can't move you back up.
It's like, oh, you just did.
Hello, how are you?
Great. I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
We're great. Thanks.
You're the only people that were going to get me out of bed to do this.
Oh my God.
Yay. Did you want to read
You're not getting me on camera.
That's okay.
Wait, so you're Diet?
I'm Diet. Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
It's Diet. I know I say it wrong.
The people call me Diet, and Diete. So I'm good with all of it.
I just want to call you D.
There you go.
Really? Oh my gosh, it's perfect.
I have such a hard time with her name. Pronunciations.
We're going to have to know each other for another 7 years before that happens.
I know. Well, did you want a reading? Can we get
I do. I want more of a psychic about my career type stuff.
Oh, let me go, please.
Yes,
I can't, but let me go. Because I know a little bit about you, but I don't know what's going on in your life right now. But I could just tell I feel very excited because I feel like things are really kind of coming together. You've been working on some projects that I feel like nobody knows about. And I feel like it's really kind of falling into place now. So to me, over the next 6 months, big things are coming your way. Do you understand this?
I do.
And they're going to go, they're not going to go how you think. Okay. But they're going to go better.
Awesome.
That's what I want to tell you. Now, I have to ask you, is there a producer involved?
There's a potentiality for one, yes.
Because I feel a producer coming into this picture here. So
Now,
I don't know what that's about.
Is it a higher end producer or lower end producer?
Higher end.
Okay, that I did not know about, but I know about it.
And I feel like it's like he comes to you through somebody else.
Oh.
Like word of mouth. So I do feel like there's an actual opportunity for being like a guest on a show or something like that. Oh, and maybe even more. And then the other thing, I don't know if this makes sense, because I don't even know, do you have children?
I do. They're older, but yes. And then I have grandchildren.
Right.
Oh my God.
Is somebody pregnant now? Is somebody pregnant now? Because I feel a little granddaughter coming.
I hope so, but I haven't heard about it yet.
Okay, so I feel like
my son, if there's a possibility.
I feel like this little girl's coming, and she's going to be your little spirit child.
Oh, I will take that because I already got one. I need another one.
Well, I feel like in the next 6 months you're going to hear about it. Okay.
Thank you.
And they're not trying.
No,
they're not trying.
I'm over 30. It's not happening. I quit.
Yeah, but it happens. They're just not trying. But it's one of those like, oopsies. I had one of those at 37.
I love it. how happy that'll make me.
Yeah. So I do feel like that's exciting. And I also see you traveling a lot more.
I'm trying.
Well, I see it happening. I see you going from place to place and doing big events. So I'm excited for you.
Thank you. It's
Are
been a
you
lot of
writing
hard
your
work.
book too?
I just started, actually.
Me
Yeah.
too. I started this year.
Yes.
I've got a lot done, but I'm trying to get together my book proposal, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to submit it to see if I can get somebody to buy it.
Oh, that's awesome.
But I feel like you're doing something too with books, so that's why I asked you.
Yeah, it's already been outlined and started, but not
Yeah.
anything more than that yet.
Well, you're going to do that. I just feel like the book's going to come, but it's going to be more next year.
That's perfect timing, actually.
Yeah.
That's perfect timing because it's actually talked about. That's when it'll get edited and
Mhm.
hopefully taken on and produced by somebody we both know. So,
Well, that's exciting.
it is.
Well, I'm happy for you. I do feel good things though. Just have faith and trust, which I know you do.
I do.
I just feel very excited, like good things, that kind of feeling for you.
Oh, thank you, because I needed to hear that. I really
You
did.
always do. You already knew this, but you just needed to have it validated.
I did need it validated, big time validated, because you know how it is.
Oh, yeah. What about you, Lauri? Did you get anything?
It's so interesting because for some reason my cards, like there was 2 cards like backwards, right?
Oh.
So I was like, okay, so I felt like this one card I was supposed to pull it, and then I thought, well, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. I will pull it, and sure enough, I pulled it, right? So interestingly, I pulled the family card, the wolf spirit. Now, what's fascinating about this for you is that I was feeling like you are in the process of creating a spiritual family. Not that you don't love your human family. I get that, right? You love your family, and that's who like feeds your soul, but you are in the process of creating a sort of a spiritual family. Okay. And what's been happening is that you're the type, what I'm getting is that you are the type of person that when you walk in a room, everybody kind of goes, and it's okay to admit that. Okay. I'm just saying, okay.
I do have a bigger personality, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And that's great. That's amazing. Right. And I feel like that I am so, first of all, I just have to tell you, I am so lightheaded because spirit is so big right now. Mm-hmm. You have a lot going on. I feel like that. And you tell me if this makes sense to you, but a spirit guide, you have like a newer spirit guide with you. Do you know that to be true?
I don't know it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised that one was coming in.
Okay. Because things are shifting. Mm-hmm. I feel like things are just kind of shifting in a good way, in a very good way. And it's because of your energy. It's because of who you are in the world. Okay. So keep the knowledge that wolf spirit. Okay. You are, you've got spirit family all around you.
I do.
So just live with that. That's amazing. Oh my gosh.
Thank you both ladies so much.
Thank you.
Super excited for you. Really exciting.
Get some good sleep tonight for us.
I'm going to, because I'm 2 hours ahead of you. So
I know. Oh my gosh. All right. You have a good night. Thank you.
Ladies. Have a great night.
All right. Bye. So it's the end of our show almost, and we have one person, Jessica, but she's not connected to her mic. So if you could connect to your mic, Jessica, we could bring you up and finish up real quick.
You know what I could do? I could pull a nice card.
Well, we've got a question. I was going to go there.
Go.
Terry, who says, if you have any time for messages about her career, she would appreciate that. So pull a card for Terry, and we have Megan who just popped on, and then we're going to cut it off there because we got to get going, guys. Okay.
So I don't know what is going on with this deck of cards, but I was shuffling, and then all of a sudden I turned, I put it down, and I was going to pull the first card, and it was face up, and look what I got. Secret Spring, success. Oh. Okay. So Terry, Hello.
That's a good one.
I really feel like that the message for you is to follow your gut instinct.
Yes.
Okay. It's really hard to do. And I feel like for you, Terry, that you tend to go sometimes towards what everybody wants you to do, and you don't necessarily follow your gut instinct. I hope that makes sense to you. Follow your gut, follow your intuition. So
good luck, Terry. Okay. So
Yeah.
we have somebody now. We have Jessica got her stuff working. Hi, Jessica.
Yay! Jessica.
Hello.
How are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Good. So we're going to try to do you and one other person. Oh, she dropped off again. Okay. So we're going to try to do you and then we're going to finish up.
Okay.
And Terry says she always follows the gut, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yes. She said thank you. So how can we help you, Jessica? What kind of reading?
I was gonna see if you could feel anything about my career.
You want to go? I went twice earlier.
I feel like that you're headed towards a shift. I feel like, yeah, you're headed towards a shift. I feel like that, and it's a good shift. Okay. It's not like this isn't bad. Okay. Sometimes they're bad, but I feel like that this shift is actually quite positive, and it's one, and I don't know if you're in the middle of it or if it's about to happen, but I feel like that, this change is going to be coming quite soon. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. And I feel like that you're going to be happy in this situation. And then I feel like, sorry to say, but I feel like in a couple more months, it's going to shift again. Okay. So, but I feel like that these are all like steps going up. You know, there's no backsliding. I'm not seeing anything backsliding. So
Okay.
Go ahead, Kelley. Yeah.
And are you changing careers or moving into a new position?
Well, I changed my. Well, let's see how I do this. I'm going to college again.
That's what I feel like. There's this. So to me,
That's
it
all the
feels
shifting.
like you're changing the way you're doing things. It's going to be like, but it's an improvement. It's going to be a better life. It's going to be more money. It's going to be all of those things. But there's a stepping stone, like she was saying, to get where you need to be. But you will get there. And I do feel like time is of the essence in a sense for you. Like you don't want to wait years. You want to kind of like move up faster, sooner than later. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so I do feel like opportunities come knocking because the universe is trying to kind of move you in that direction faster. So
Okay.
I feel like you're on the right track and good things are coming. Just be patient and keep being open to opportunities. Because if we don't open our mind up or our thoughts up to these opportunities to come our way, we're going to miss them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I own a bar too. I bought a bar to help my parents out because they no longer wanted it. And so I've been kind of struggling on if I should keep it or sell it.
So can I just tell you something? I feel like that, and this is so fascinating because as Kelley was reading you, I was getting like a split kind of thing. What I'm getting for you though is, I think, do you meditate first of all?
I do readings.
You do readings? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that jumping into the spiritual aspect of that, like allowing yourself to sit in the stillness for a little bit, would be really helpful. But I feel like that it's going to sort of balance out all the stuff that's going on, you know, the bar,
Right.
the school. I feel like that it's going to really help you balance that. And I love that you do readings because I'm thinking she's really intuitive.
And
I'm like,
yeah.
so that's
and I have to say, don't sell the bar. That's what I hear. Don't sell it. Figure out a way to make it work to where you're not overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't say that, but I agree.
Yeah. When you said that, I heard sell it because I do feel like good things come from the bar. That's what I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And you just need to find the right person to kind of run it when you're not around.
Awesome.
You know? Yeah.
Thank you.
You.
Awesome. Good luck.
Yeah. Good
Thank
luck
you.
with everything. And we're going to do this last person, Megan, here, and then we're done.
Okay. Thanks, Jessica.
Thanks. Hi. You're the last one of the night. We're going to make it
amazing.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, how are you guys?
Good. How are you?
Good. I was wondering if maybe you could pick up the energies around my career right now. I've sort of
everybody wants to know about their career.
I know. I have two. I mean, I'm working on my mindfulness business and getting my coaching certification and teaching meditation, but I am a creative director by trade, and I'm trying to find like a steady creative direction line, because I've been freelancing and just building both these businesses and driving them upstream. So I'm curious what
Who are you getting certified with?
With the School of Positive Transformation out of Boulder, Colorado.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It's been really
I'm certified with David G. That's why I was asking.
Oh, cool. That's amazing.
Yeah. Are you familiar with him?
I've heard the name. I'll have to look I'd love to learn more. How do you spell, is it David and then G?
J-I.
J-I. Okay.
David J-I, all one word. So
okay. Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Thank you for the tip.
Go ahead, Kelley. You want to go first?
Well, I do feel like with the creative director part of that's like another career other than the other side, right?
Yes.
I don't know why. I feel like they come together somehow.
That's my hope.
Yeah, and I also feel like, because before you even said creative director, I was going to say you're super creative the way you think, and you're not going to run your spiritual side of the business like you would, like a normal person would, because you're creative and you're going to do it your way with you thinking outside the box. And I think that's your unique way, and that's what you have to be. And that incorporates into the creative director part. I don't know how, but that's what I'm hearing. These are going to be together. Put out to the universe what you're looking for. Start manifesting it, because you're also, I want to say, and I know you can validate this, is that you're a master manifester. You have been your whole life. And you do it naturally. You've done it since you were a kid. Whenever you thought about something, you always create it. So I want to say, create what you want, your dream world. Don't go and do what everybody's saying you should do, because I feel like somebody's giving you guidance and telling you have to do this, 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 and this, and it's not feeling right to you. And I want to say, follow your gut. Don't follow somebody because you think they know more, because they're not you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
They mean well, and maybe their advice will work for somebody else, but not for you, because you do things so uniquely, and that's what's special about you. Okay. Aww. So I want you to remember that, to keep to being authentic and doing you the way you do it, and not trying to fit into these little boxes that you think you're supposed to be in, because you're not. You're going to have all the business in the world when you just start doing things the way you do them.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there somebody guiding you that's been mentoring you?
I mean, I think just my angels and guides, and I feel
like in life, somebody's been trying to give you business advice.
Like maybe my dad is like, because he's a business guy, but he actually like defers to me. I think he's always like, you make the best choices. Like,
because you do things your way. Yeah. I mean, it's just like,
yeah.
And it might not resonate or work for other people, but it's going to work for you. That's what I keep hearing, to do it your way.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're doing all the right things, I hear.
Thank you. I feel like financially, I left a really lucrative job to do all this 5 years ago. And I'm like, this is what they say. Like, you have to give everything up to kind of do what you love, but then you build. And not that I've lost everything or anything. Like, I'm doing fine, but I just feel like I'm not at a place financially that I feel like I should be, given my experience. And so that sometimes kind of weighs me down.
Well, then you're going to create it.
Yeah.
Because I do feel the shift happening. So that's why I feel like you've been thinking about this and it's starting to happen. So just keep working on creating what you really want. I mean, we all get stuck. I've been stuck the last 2 years. I've been feeling kind of lost in my own business, trying to recreate it and do things differently. And I had to take a step back, and, a little bit of loss of money. And, it's kind of frustrating, but it's now starting to really manifest into what I wanted. It took about 1.5 years. And it's starting to happen. Sometimes we have to do that, because I wasn't going in the right direction anymore. So you have to look at that. And I think it's that time, like you're at that spot where you're ready to kind of take a step back and do things, start recreating it the way you want. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming on. Oh, go ahead.
Can I jump in here real quick? Okay, so it's so funny because I would think something and then Kelley would say it. And I was like, damn it, I was going to say that. But what I'm going to do is, no, what I want to do is piggyback to that a little bit in terms of, and there's no shame in this, right? But have you been sort of moving backwards a little bit on your meditation a little bit?
Yes.
Okay. Right.
I mean, I feel like I'm not, like I'm feeling a little bit less myself in my meditation practice, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right. So I can feel that. Okay. So what I feel like that you have this one guide who is very talkative. Okay. This guide is so talkative, right? And I feel like that if we can get you back into a meditation routine, okay, to where because I feel like, and this is really interesting because I totally 100% relate to what I'm about to say. I feel like that you're very creative. You have all these ideas, but there's like, well, I'll do that, this, that. And then all of a sudden you're like, well, I can't do them all. So I'm not going to do anything kind of thing, sort of along those lines. Right. But I feel like that if we get you into a meditation routine a little bit better, even if you start out again from where you were, because you don't have to do, and I know you know this already, right? You don't have to do an hour to shot. Okay. Just sitting, getting into that routine, getting into that routine 15 minutes a day and just start to surrender to the process. The ideas, the ones that are important will then highlight. This is all from your guide, by the way. Okay. This guide is so freaking talkative, right? Which is awesome, right? But this guide is saying that what's going to happen is when you sit and surrender every day, surrender to whatever spirit has for you. What's going to happen is that those 50,000 ideas that you have up there, they're the ones that are important are going to make themselves clearer. And then when you start going with that idea, it's just going to lay itself out and it's going to be like, oh, right. And it's going to be easy. Okay. Does that make sense?
100%. Yes.
Okay, good.
Thank you. I needed this like vote of confidence because I have been trying to snap back into a better meditation practice.
Right.
I'm not never on my mat. I'm on my mat more. So that's good. I think I'm getting there.
Okay, good. That's great.
Thank you guys so much. You're the best.
Your energy is beautiful, Megan. Thanks.
Thanks you guys.
Good luck with everything.
Yeah, good luck.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
That was so much fun.
We're a little over. We do got to go, but I do want to make a couple announcements. And Lauri, I think we posted, here's Lauri's info. She's on Insight Timer, and that's her link to her Insight Timer. And there's also a link. Is there a link?
Actually, I have 2 events coming up.
Yeah, and
that are
events.
Really exciting. The one I have a workshop coming up on June 28th. It's a Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. So it's 8 p.m. And it's basically called Psychic and Mediumship Development. Is this for me? Okay. So it will help you decide, like, we're going to go over all of the things. Is this for me? And I'll be answering all the questions, any question that anybody has. I'm going to go with that. And then right after that, I have my big 4-week, I only do this a couple times a year. So my 4-week spiritual development class, and it's called Unveiling the Extraordinary, a 4-week journey into psychic and mediumship mastery.
Yay, that's beautiful. And so I have, let me scroll back up here because Brianna.
Yeah, and if you miss mine, go on or go to Kelley's because Kelley has something really similar coming up too.
I do, but I don't know where it went. Brianna posted that stuff again. So I just posted all of my summer classes. I'm doing a few, but they're all in person here in Sacramento. But I have a free 3-hour workshop it's basically called like, Are You a Medium? And it's for all those who are very curious, to see if mediumship is for them and if that's something that they're interested in. So it's a fun, like, just afternoon at my Love and Light Center here in Sacramento. And then I have this other one that's for working mediums already. It's called Supercharge Your Mediumship with Medium Kelley, and that's another workshop, and that one costs money. It's not free, but it's $75, and I think it's a 4-hour course, and that's going to be at my Love and Light Center. I have a holistic fair this month at the Love and Light Center. I'm doing a lot in person at my Love and Light Center. I'm really pushing it.
Great.
And the holistic
We can
fair,
do it again.
yeah, we have some amazing readers. It's going to be a lot of fun. And that's on the same weekend as my workshop. I also have this new thing, which I'm super, super excited about. And it's called Open Mic Night for Platform Mediumship. So I'm calling all mediums and everything, or psychic mediums in the Sacramento area that want to just come practice.
I love that.
And anybody who wants to come support them, in a loving way, no mean people.
Yeah.
We're manifesting love. These are people, because it's hard to really get out there and practice. So I want to provide a space to practice. If all goes well, I want to do this monthly, but I'm just put it up. I'm super excited. And I love the flyer, and I love the name, Open Mic Night Platform Mediumship. So come check those out.
I wish I lived up there. I would totally go.
I know. I just wanted to provide a place, and then I have my Egypt trip and some other things coming up, but these are the things I'm excited about right now. So check them out. Both Lauri and I have some amazing things happening this summer. So go to her website, go to my website, check us out. And thank you for showing up tonight. We will see you next week, or I will see you next week, and Lauri will see you again soon, I'm sure.
Love you. Thank you so much, Kelley. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
Bye,
me.
everybody.
Bye.
The truth is here and now on WLTKDB Talk Radio at WLTKDB.com.